o'clock, a mugshot of the Texas Attorney General. We take an in-depth look at the criminal charges facing the man in charge of defending Texas law. There are calls for Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton to step down after his indictment earlier today on 3 felony charges.
Paxton posed for this mugshot this morning after officially being charged with 2 counts of first-degree securities fraud and a lesser charge of failing to register with state regulators. KXAN's Chris Sadeghi is in McKinney with more on the case against Texas top lawyer.
It was nothing like Rick Perry's booking, but a lot of media and plenty of demonstrators showed up for Ken Paxton's booking, but he came and went with barely a trace, except for now he is in the inmate database. It took just about 15 minutes. The black SUV pulled in, pulled out, and in between it all, the state's top attorney had a mugshot.
But I think his smirk has always says it all.
Collin County is a fair county.
Paxton was in and out. Others weren't about to make it so easy.
It's time for him to face the music, and we've got to stop the corruption.
This may have been in Collin County, but Joanne Groshart wanted to send her message straight down I-35.
I think everyone in Austin is a crook.
After the booking, details of the alleged crime were unsealed for all to see. The flock of media set up for Paxton and his attorneys to speak, but they chose only to send a written statement saying they would do their talking in a courtroom. And in the meantime, the AG was going back to work.
Ken must go!
Exactly what these people do not want. It is standard procedure in this county for inmates to take mugshots with a white towel around their neck. The judge in this case allowed Paxton to skip the towel, instead taking his mugshot in a shirt, tie, and jacket. From McKinney, Texas, Chris Sadeghi, KXAN News.
We obviously don't expect our elected officials, especially not the top lawyer in Texas, to be charged with a crime.
But an indictment is not the same as a conviction. I asked an Austin defense attorney what this indictment could mean for Paxton's future legally and politically.
Is it that the charges are so serious for the Attorney General, or is it that the fact that he has been indicted is a stain on his reputation?
Well, in terms of the punishment, there's no chance, in my opinion, that if he were to be convicted of everything, he would go to prison. So the taint really is to being convicted of a felony and what that would do to his reputation and career and his future.
What do you think it would?
I think it would definitely impact and ruin much of what he wants to do, including holding public office.
Is this going to be a distraction now?
I would think there's no question it will be. However, the case will take several months, if not years, to get through the system.
What do you think for the Attorney General is the best course of action here?
To get good, smart lawyers and let them do their work and continue doing business as the Attorney General.
This is not the first time a sitting Texas Attorney General has been indicted. In 1983, a grand jury indicted Jim Maddox, a Democrat, on commercial bribery charges. He was acquitted after a long trial in 1986. If the Attorney General were to be forced to step down, Governor Greg Abbott would appoint a replacement. The interim AG would finish Paxton's term, which lasts until 2019.
And while Paxton may be new to the Attorney General's office, he is not new to Texas politics. To give you some perspective, Paxton spent 10 years in the Texas House representing western areas of Collin County. In 2012, he was elected to a 2-year term in the Texas Senate. His district included parts of Collin and Dallas counties. Before he took this post enforcing the law, Paxton was making the law as a state legislator for more than a decade. And KXAN investigator Brian Collister discovered today Paxton's own voting record during that time is now impacting his criminal case.
Actually, one of the felony charges that he is facing deals with something he's already admitted to doing, acting as an investment advisor without registering with the state. Now, more than a decade ago, while he was in the legislature, Paxton voted to increase the penalty for that offense from a misdemeanor to a felony. It passed due to a wave of security scandals at the time, including the billion-dollar fraud committed by Bernie Madoff, who was an illegal, unlicensed investment advisor. Paxton has refused to publicly discuss his actions as a financial advisor, including when I caught up with him just a few days ago at a Capitol hearing. Attorney General, can we ask you about the grand jury that's looking into your case?
When it's appropriate, I'll comment on that.
Now, that third-degree felony charge that he's facing is just one of the 3 charges he's up against. It is punishable with a sentence of 2 to 10 years. Brian Collister, KXAN Investigates.
And you can find more about Paxton's indictment right now at our website. We have the links to the full text of each indictment. Just look for this story at the front page of KXAN.com.